I doubt it's the fruit of honest labor. So that's what this was all about? They fled here to protect the loot? Yes?
Do that, please.
Stay right there. Who are you?
I'm not one of them. Please don't hurt me. By the righteous path. What did I get myself into? Alice Summerstone. I'm just a simple man, a farmer by me path. I have 2 daughters, me woman and a little farm girl just a few miles from Ark. Maybe you know one of me girls. She sells our bread at the market, Mondas de Freiras. Yes, exactly. That's her. My little Serta. Aye, of course. Do you know who Landlord Borek is?
He's one of the most influential landlords of the Farmer's Coast. Both the Guard and the Order get their food from his lands. What does he have to do with this?
Everything. He's a pathless bastard. And all of this, is his fault. I swear it by me name.
Why?
Because he's a criminal, that's why. Believe me, I know how that sounds. But it's the truth. You have to believe me. The tolls he collects from his tenants are so high that we hardly have anything left to eat. And those who don't pay get beaten up by his lackeys. But that's not all of it. He also knows the Relata. Aye, who else? They believe themselves above Malphas, above the Holy Path, which is also why no one does anything about them. No, this money isn't his. I had debts. It all started 3 years ago, when we had a very bad harvest and I couldn't pay me toll for the first time. Borek gave me a loan, but he said that I'd have to pay interest next time. Well, I think you can figure out the rest. Aye. I knew from a friend that there was this man in the Undercity, this Carrick. And he said that he and his men might be willing to help me, if they would get money from it. Apparently they even had a sense of honor and path-abidingness, if you can call it that. They're from a traveling merchant. We ambushed him, and you know what we did. But I swear by me name we didn't hurt him. When we had the money, all Sunfire started breaking loose. Some kind of woman appeared, all veiled and dressed in black. And in the wink of an eye, she killed 2 of Carrick's men. We tried to fight her at first, but then we ran for it. Well, and ended up in this ruin. She didn't speak much, but yes, she had dark robes. And she was different. Unholy. Sorry, I don't know how to describe her any better. Me farm and me family, aye. Please, it's the right thing to do. If I don't have the money by the next turn of the moon, Borek and his lackeys will change their tune. And I know what that means.
It's a tough call. I can understand his motivation, but that doesn't change the consequence of his actions. If we let him run, we legitimize his crime, so to speak. You should justify your crime before the tribunal. Explain to them what Borek did, and they might judge you lightly.
Judge lightly? You don't really believe that, do you? They don't care about the why, and even if they do, it doesn't change a damn thing about the fact that my family is lost without this money.
Maybe, but it doesn't change the fact that you're at least partially responsible for what happened here. But it's your call.
Really? Oh, thank you so much. I will not forget this. Now, forgive me, I have to get out of here before anyone else arrives. Walk blessed, my friend.
By the prophet's ass, you really got them all. You don't stop surprising me, that's for sure. And neither do you, Keeper Sakaresh. Thanks for deactivating the traps up there. I suppose you know about the skinny man who dashed past us up there? We were thinking about stopping him, but he didn't look like one of the bandits.
Yes, he got caught up in the whole thing. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. Well, if you say so. Alright then. I'd say if this machine is somewhere in this ruin, it's here. I suggest you two take a look around. We'll cover your back in the meantime.
Do you see the passage over there? We should take a look.
Huh?
I suppose we found our machine. At least, what's left of it. Do you feel anything, Saira? With your gift, I mean. Agreed. Maybe we can even take some small parts of it with us right now. The Order will transport the rest to Ark by Myrad. What strange metal. It didn't rust at all, despite all the time it's been here.
Correct. Nothing else possesses that much raw, magical power.
It works in a way we have not even come close to comprehending, like a cosmic force.
All this energy, it's useless without the Numinos.
Yes? Found something? They look useful. Let's take them to the Chronicum. Yes? Yes, you're right. How is it possible that it moves all by itself? Let me see. Yes, it does indeed. Seems to be some kind of energy storage, but it's empty. Yes, I think you're right. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. Let's go talk to Pegast.
Now that was quick. So, what did you find? Well, that's not much of a surprise considering how long it was down here. And as long as we can reconstruct it, that's alright. I sent some of my men back to Ark. We'll request a caravan to get all the parts back to the temple and see what we can do from there. Let's just hope it really will help us against this cleansing, whatever it is. As much as I admire Pyrean technology, I don't like the idea of putting our lives in the hands of it. Let me see. Interesting. Truly interesting.
What?
Seems that this machine was only some kind of prototype. The real one the Pyreans were working on must be somewhere else. Plus, there's also a name for it. The Pyreans called it the Beacon.
That's poetic.
Indeed. Well then, it seems like you and your visions have once again saved the day, prophetess. There's a lot for us to do now. If you've taken care of your business here, I suggest you head back to Ark and report to old Aranthiel.
What do you think, Saira? Do you want to leave now or stay a little longer? Good. There you are. Pegast's mages have already told the Grandmaster about our find, and they're waiting for us in the Emporium. Let's go.
All that I am saying is that there are more efficient ways to battle this red madness. And heathen machines atop the Sun Temple are the last thing that will calm the townsfolk.
Maybe. But if this heathen machine is what the Pyreans used to combat the cycle, I want it near. Even if it turns out to be useless, only a fool turns down a chance. Sharim, how long will the reconstruction take?
Well, that depends on how many Pyrean mechanics you have on hand that can help us decipher these plans. Just think for once, Aranthiel. How are we supposed to give you an estimation if we don't even know what the finished machine is supposed to look like?
We will get to work right away, Grandmaster. But in any case, we're going to need a lot of steel and Pyrean crystals.
You will get them. Now get to work. You did excellent work. We will reconstruct this machine, no matter the price. Here, this will reward you for your effort. With the beacon and the sigil stone, we now have both a sword and shield against these High Ones. That is more than I had hoped for. However, there has also been a disquieting development. I have called in a conclave, and it will take place in a day. Come back then, and use the time to rest.
Yes.
Walk blessed. Can I help you? That's convenient, actually. I think I still owe you an explanation. Yes, but let's talk somewhere else. Come on.
What?
So, sorry for all the secrecy. I just didn't want anyone else to listen in. Well, that moment when I neutralized the leader of the bandits in Old Dothelgrad, I'm sure you noticed that I was different then. Upset. You choose your words carefully, Saira. I appreciate that. I'll make this quick. There is something about me that you don't know. That no one knows, actually. Do you remember what I told you in the curarium about the destroyed village? Well, I wasn't entirely honest with you. Not all of it, no, and it's true that I don't know how I ended up there. But I remembered something just before I regained consciousness. Some kind of a feeling coupled with an image. It's hard to describe because it didn't last very long, but I saw myself, but I was somehow above the rooftops, as if I flew. Below me, I saw all the chaos,
his light
the dead,
guide you.
the fire, the devastated houses, and I somehow felt hot, but from inside, as if my blood was boiling.
What?
That sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know how to describe it better than that. Nothing. I woke up, and from there things happened just as I've already told you. But that's not really what I'm trying to get at. In that memory, when I saw all those dead bodies and all that destruction, I felt satisfaction, pleasure. As if all that suffering, all that pain was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever seen. Well, I didn't know what to make of that memory myself for quite a long time. But then, things happened that made me understand. There is something inside my head, Saira. Some kind of second soul, an entity. Most of the time it sleeps, but there are situations in which it wakes up. Mostly when something atrocious happens or has happened. Blood, pain, death. Whenever I'm confronted with these kinds of things, it tries to... I don't know how to put it. Tries to take control of me, and then things like Alt Dothelgrad happen. It's never managed to completely take me over, and it hasn't gotten as far as it did in Alt Dothelgrad for a long, long time now. But that memory from the village, I think that is what happens when I let myself go completely. If that name seems fitting to you, then yes. But I think we both know these stories about ghosts taking over the living are just stories to scare the common folk. If it helps you, think of it as some one that's just waiting for the moment when I am too weak to contain it. Yes, it is immense, Saira. I can feel it every time it is trying to take me over. I don't even want to think about what would happen if I were to give in completely. I figure. Listen, what happened in Old Dothelgrad? Never should have let it come to that. But that moment when he charged me, the blood on his sword, I just couldn't contain it. And when I gave in, when I hacked him into pieces, I simply felt so thrilled, complete. I was naive to believe it would never get that far again. Naive and stupid. But do you see now? This is the reason why I trained so hard. why I always try to control my emotions, no matter what people do or say to me. This creature inside me, it's always on the hunt. And the only way I can keep it at bay is by controlling both my body and spirit 100%. Just one moment of carelessness. That's all it takes. No way that I know of, at least. Who should I ask? The apothecary? There are two ways that would go. Either they would ridicule me, or they would take me seriously and report my condition to the Order. Neither way helps me, and who knows what the Order would do if they found out, especially as strained as the situation is right now. Well, what would be the alternative? Transcribe Pyrean books like the Magisters do all day? Or drop out entirely and pour hot water for the upper city's noblewomen? Look, Saira, as you already pointed out, there is a chance that this thing inside me is responsible for the massacre in the village. And if that's true, I definitely have a lot of repentance to do, don't you think? And even if it isn't, I want to change things, to make the world at least a little bit better. And yes, I do realize that this means a lot of hardship and hard work for me, but I'm not afraid of that. Do you know why? Because that's what's missing in this world. So many people just talk, and never act, because that would mean that they'd have to actually endure something for what they believe in. Yes, I know. Sorry, I shouldn't have gotten so emotional. I just wanted to clear this up. Anyway, the one thing I ask of you is to keep silent about what I've told you. It will never come to something like that again, I promise. I'd like some time by myself now, and thanks for listening.
May his light guide you.
What?
Transcribe verse 80 100 times.
The prophetess, huh?
Yes?
Verse 80 100 times. Sky can rain
lobby?
Yes?
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves.